You are listening to the Hello Sport Podcast.
What's up, punters and dribblers? Welcome back to another episode of All Talk, brought to you by Good Day Daily Multivitamins and Lytes Daily Electrolytes, all of which can be found at begoodhealth.com.au. Make smart decisions and get healthy, you fucks. Now, this episode of All Talk, we are joined by Australian back rower, New South Wales back rower, Sydney Roosters back rower, former Rabbitohs back rower. I went in reverse order there, Edward. Started at the top, started with the national rep, and then came all the way back down to his first club that he played at in the NRL. Second appearance on the podcast, Eddie. We had him back in 2018.
Which terrifies me because that means it's been 7 years.
Terrifying, but also he is an alum. College of knowledge, just three Scots boys done good.
Just doing things.
Just doing good.
Good to get around him again.
Yep.
Fuck, he's got bigger.
He's got bigger, he's got hotter,
Got stronger.
but he's always been a sweetheart
Yep.
and a good man.
A great man.
Who are we talking to?
Angus Crichton. Heard of him?
Just to get you up to speed on the state of the Murray-Darling where the salt is sourced. It's too much salt in the Murray-Darling.
So you're doing the Murray-Darling a favour.
We're fucking helping out the Murray-Darling.
We're environmentalists.
I know that. I knew that.
We're all about a rich, diverse ecosystem.
It's also the only naturally occurring pink salt in the Southern Hemisphere.
Wow.
Maybe just Australia, though.
I'm getting overloaded with information.
I'm just letting you know, mate.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
looking at it. I just wanted to let you know. Not an
No,
ad.
I like it. Not an ad. Yeah. Murray-Darling.
Yeah. You know the Murray, mate?
Murray-Darling.
The mighty Murray
Murray.
River. Come on.
Here you go.
Murray. Where
Come
does
on
the
in,
Murray
cuz.
run through?
Fucking
Mate, through South Australia.
Yeah.
up north.
Yep.
Down south.
Mate, South Australia, maybe a bit of New South Wales, maybe a bit of
I think
Queensland.
so. I remember
What-
the boys doing a rafting
Yeah,
trip.
what
on the Murray.
towns are we talking?
Oh, Jesus. We're going to have to get... Once the boys are there, we'll have to get...
Mildura goes through Mildura.
Yeah.
Some geography.
Aubrey,
Shout out to
maybe?
Mildura. Nah, don't think so.
I'm just saying fucking towns at this point.
But you enjoy, mate. You enjoy that.
I will.
Yeah. Oh, there's
Mate,
more actually
I'm
good
a
days
big,
as well.
I'm a big electrolytes kind of guy. So.
Dude, I didn't realise what electrolytes really were until we started doing it. It was just like Powerade and shit.
It makes it taste better as well.
Yeah. Once I've actually like have it and I'm like, I'm addicted to the salt.
Yeah, it's good shit.
That Murray-Darling shit.
Yeah.
Anyway.
9 out of 10 Australians dehydrated. Do you know that?
Is that a fact? Or
That's
is
a
that-
fact.
Yeah, no, that's a fact, man.
I'm smiling while I say it, but it's also a fact. Yeah.
So that's,
Anyway.
you guys are tapping in, man, at the right time.
We're doing our
Trying.
best. We're doing our
And
best.
how's everything going with you? You got the barber. You doing some
Yep.
clothes now as well?
Yeah, doing some clothes. We're doing our second location this year, so
Oh, mad.
it's exciting, man. We're doing barbershop up top, like with our own sort of clothing label, and then tattoos downstairs.
Really? Oh,
Tattoo
really?
studio as well. So
Are you going out of... I was talking to Louis Brown the other day. You doing it through
At
Maker &
Maker,
Co as well?
yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
what we do.
Yeah,
All
they're
our
good
shit.
there.
They're great.
yeah,
Shout out,
really
Mike and
good.
Co.
Shout out.
Shout out Yesha.
Yes,
Yeah, we love
yeah,
love
yes.
Yesha.
Yeah,
Big
yeah.
fan of Yesha.
So, fuck, dude, like the hairdresser, I know you used to cut hair at school, right?
Yeah.
So did I. Just want to mention it. I was a hairdresser at Scott's as well. College
Some
and
note.
college. Some note.
Yeah.
Mainly mullets and shit.
Prestigious club. There's not many of us.
No, there's not. I didn't go on to make a business out of it, but I do respect it. How was that process? Because, it's a bit like it's entrepreneurial. Not
Yeah,
every player
it
going out
is.
and
It was
doing
pretty random start, to be honest. Like I used to cut my mate's hair. I lived down on the water. We used to cut all the boys' hair. Like when I left school as well. Anyway, one of my best mates, Jack Maddox, shout out to him.
Shout out to Jack Maddox.
we
Played
bought
with his
it-
brother at East.
Yep. Oh, you played with Will.
Yeah. Oh, older one? Was it
Tim, James?
James, I think.
James, yeah.
I'm old as fuck.
Yeah. Anyways, I used to cut his. He was probably my number one client. And I was anyway. I started taking him down to my now business partner's shop, down in Bondi. I would cut his hair there and get tips off him. Blah blah blah. And then eventually, this little Frenchman, Florian, we sort of tossed up the idea. Oh, we should do a shop together one day. Blah blah blah. It was sort of a pipe dream. And then there was some real dodgy shit at his store that he was at. They weren't paying their taxes, weren't paying their rent. One day they just locked the doors. And my little French barber was sat there and he's pretty much said to me, oh, it's either this or I go back to France. So, we opened up and it's been good. It was sort of a bit of a stab in the dark, but no, it's paid off. It's been good fun.
From the business side of things, what's that journey been like? From our experience, the business side of things is something I just had no fucking idea about until you're in it.
I was the exact same, I think, especially setting up companies, setting up bank accounts, paying your BAS, all your taxes.
Yeah.
Let alone I'm sponsoring these barbers. We got 4 guys sponsored. They're 2 Frenchies.
Oh, really?
A Greek dude and an Englishman as well. So
Europeans cut better hair. It's just the way
they
it
do
is.
that, mate. The Aussies, they don't work hard, man. They don't want it.
They don't want it.
You
mate.
got to want it. You
gotta want it.
especially as an employer. You know, you want people hungry as fuck.
Nah, these barbers are hungry, boys.
Especially where you're located, mate.
Oh, yeah.
You're creme de la creme. That's
Hey,
prime
these boys,
spot down there,
they're
bro. You need people
salivating. They're
working.
cutting their hair. They're starving. Yeah.
Good. Well, I'm pumped to hear that, mate.
Yeah.
So when's the new one open?
It'll probably be around September, I reckon.
okay.
But I'm not sure. It's been getting put off. Like it's a brand new build. Like, you know those 3 blocks in Darlinghurst, like around, remember where Big Poppers is?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember now.
And there's got all them like sort of gay pride flags on. It's been building for like
Oh, yes.
We're in there. So,
mad.
So yeah,
It's been getting built for fucking
years, man,
ages, bro.
And so hopefully we'll get the keys around July and start building and be open end of the
Sick.
year. Yeah.
And tattoos.
Yeah. Now, one of our boys, his name's Bobby, shout out to him, Kiwi boy. He started off at the OG barbershop where Florian worked. He was just sort of like making coffees and taking orders and that, and got into drawing and then got into tattooing, and now he's like a pretty big tattoo artist in Sydney, and we're going in together, and me and him, and doing a store downstairs.
Interesting. So they're like the good money in the tattoo racket?
I hope so.
I like that shit because now you start thinking about like,
Well, now
I wonder
what
how
are we
much you
doing?
can charge.
Yeah.
We want to
Well,
get some
I-
tats.
I don't want any, but I'm interested.
My sort of
in-
logic with like all this business stuff is like, if we're with Florian, when he was cutting hair, I was like, he's a gun at this. Like, I believe in him. Like, let's go. Like, I just trust him and his work ethic and his product that he's providing. And so same with Bobby as well. Like, I'm not sure how old he is. He's probably a little bit older than me. He's a Kiwi dude, just moved over here a couple of years ago, sort of just like, I wouldn't say scraping by, but he's like not killing it. But I'm like, together we could make something where you'll do really well, I'll do really well.
Yeah.
His product is good, so I back it.
It's a smart way of looking at
Are
it.
you constantly thinking about this sort of shit? Like, I remember the first time we had you on, back in 2018, I think we realised, you were first people project. Like, you're doing shit. You know?
Yeah,
like,
I think footy doesn't last forever. Like, everyone sort of cliche and says that, but I like doing stuff outside of sport, but I feel like it also probably adds to, I don't know, when you got more stuff going on, you can be more focused in different areas as well. I find.
Mate, I think that's a smart approach because you're right, footy doesn't last forever. You know what I mean?
what are you now? 29 though.
29, yeah.
It's prime.
You are in your prime. Rugby
You are
league
prime.
years, mate.
I was thinking about this today. I was like, we're like, I mean, I know I'm only 35 now, almost 36, but I'm past my prime. You know what I mean? I'll never ever be as fit as I
Unless you're
was.
Cherry Evans.
Well, unless you're Cherry Evans, which I'm fucking not. I'm sad to
But
tell you.
we were in our prime 10 years ago. You
And
know
it
what
wasn't-
I'm like?
I know, but
if
it
you
wasn't
haven't
even-
made your peace with it by now, you're in
It
trouble.
was more just that I thought about it, and I was like, damn, dude, I'm fucking so far gone from my prime.
Are you talking rugby league prime?
Oh, well, rugby league prime, absolutely. I just more mean like physical fitness, unless I start juicing, which I'm not ruling out.
You're talking man prime.
Yeah, well, like, you know.
As
wait,
just as
don't talk to my girl like that.
Yeah,
prime.
yeah.
And
Don't
then
talk
I
to
just get
my-
fucking roll.
But then you got the dad strength now coming in as well.
That's right.
It's different primes.
Yeah, no, dad strength is different. Like, I can just lift shit around the house. Like, it'll fuck my back completely, but like,
You'll
I
get it
do
done, yeah.
You do it.
Yeah.
That's dad strength, though.
100%.
Eddie's
And I'm
got
just starting to
strength.
learn about that.
He's just
Oh,
learning
yeah,
about
yeah.
Talk to me.
Dill
Suki.
strength.
Suki, yeah.
The
Suki
dyed
Simpson.
hair, the Lebanese hair.
Yeah. Mate, like people think that we're taking the piss when Tom and I say that we're follically gifted. Like,
Yeah,
it's-
mate, I'd love some of that Follicly Gift.
yeah.
I've got a little bit going on. It's thin, but I'm hanging on. Just.
You're hanging
Well,
on?
you can't tell here.
Nah, you guys are just pumping me up, man.
Well, listen,
Would
from this
you-
angle, I think it looks good. But would you go to Turkey?
Yeah, would you go to Turkey? Well, you can get it done in Australia.
You can. Shout out to
I
Muslim.
think I would be open to that. I don't know. This is going to make for great viewing, and I'm going to get sent this and absolutely roasted. I don't know why I'm digging myself into the hole that I'm in.
Well,
But
mate of ours
you
got it
guys,
done.
just got me hook, line, and sinker with the Follicly Gifted, and I just couldn't help but
You
open my
couldn't help
mouth.
yourself.
And yeah, fuck.
Well, a mate of ours,
Fuck, I really just put my foot in it there, man.
a mate of ours got it done, and he looks terrific.
He showed us the photo that was like the catalyst for him going, fuck, I got to do something.
Yeah.
Because he was sort of just, hiding it.
Yeah.
To him, he thought he was anyway.
Yeah.
And then,
You have to show me these photos.
Dude,
Well,
he won't
he
give
doesn't
them
send
to
it
us.
around. It's so horrific.
He
But
shows
surely
us-
there's photos on his profile or something you can.
But this
one
photo
is, this one is particularly alarming and would snap anyone into action. It was like a photo of him and his missus on like a holiday, and there was like someone like, let us take a photo of you.
Is it wispy? Is it thin?
Bruh,
Is it...
it's and sorry to flex my hair on you like this, but dude, it's like it's all here, and then his hair doesn't start until like maybe the back third of his head.
Yeah, that's tough.
And he didn't know. Like he knew, but he didn't know how he looked in the photo, and then he's seen it, and he's like, "Holy shit!"
But then there's also a little bit of pride in having a thin bit of hair wearing the number 11 for the Roosters after the great Boyd corner. I kind of just got to lean into it. I feel.
Absolutely.
Listen, it worked for Boyd.
Yeah, it did. It worked for Boyd.
It worked
and
for
it's
Boyd.
working for you now.
It is working for you.
Wait, we need to get off this topic, man. I don't need not this
But
podcast.
is there something?
we get that Elvis wig for him.
Flashy's Blues.
Do you put the last year in particular? Do you put that down to loosen your hair?
Nah,
To make you a better footballer?
Yeah. I'm not. We're stopping this.
No,
right?
we
I'm
stopped the hair
stopping this.
chat.
We're
Move
stopping
on.
hair
Stop
chat.
the chat.
But your last year of football, hair or no hair, was particularly good.
It was fucking.
It was a great year of footy.
Appreciate it, boys. Thank you. Very
That must have felt good though.
It was good. I feel like it was nice to, I don't know, to shut a lot of people up.
Did you feel was that like, were you trying to?
I feel like, no, not really. I feel like I wanted to get back just for myself. And obviously there was a lot of people counting me out saying, oh, he won't play NRL again, or he's this, he's that. And I knew that, especially because there was chat that it was going to be my last year at the club. And I was at peace with potentially that being the reality of it for me. And I was just like, there's no way I'm going out after that end of season in 2023 where I just wasn't playing like myself. There's no way that's going to be my end of my time at the club.
Yeah.
Like guys like Jared, guys like Toops still there, Kiri's last year. I'm like, there's no way I'm missing out on that. And it was tough at the start. Like pre-season, I was training at like in the middle. I was in the trials. I came off the bench in the trials.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
Did you miss the first couple of games? Like, were you
yeah,
not
I
selected?
played cup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely carved up Manly at Brookvale.
I'll start talking about your hair again.
No, I'll send you some clips later. But no, it was obviously a really humbling experience, but it was something that, man, I wouldn't have changed. Like, obviously it's crazy looking back at it now, but going through that, the resilience I guess I feel like I have now, and the life experience I have going through that. I met my beautiful fiance now through that period, and I really, I don't know, she stuck by me so solidly as well, and it's like, it made that so clear for me now as well. So so much good stuff has come out of that tough period for me, and yeah, I'm happy I went through it now to feel what it's like on the other side.
Does it take you a while to work through emotionally getting dropped to reserve grade? Like, because you'd gone from like this fucking massive start of the game, Origin, you'd won a comp, then
World Cup.
Then you have a couple of off years. Like, you're waking up 2024 and you're playing reserve grade. Are you just?
No,
Are you still confident in your ability? Or you're like,
I was so
fucking
confident because the preseason that I had, I was moosing it. I was going so hard to make sure that I could come in and absolutely nail that year, which was potentially going to be my last year at the club. Like,
Right.
I was in the I'm always one of the hardest trainers, and
I've heard that.
that year, because I thought, oh, this could be my last year playing with Jared, Toops and Kez. Like, I want to win a fucking comp. That year, obviously every preseason you're doing that, but that year in particular, I was like, this could be my last time in these colours. And coming off the back of 2023, I was like, I was so ready to play. And then when I got my chance, I was just like making sure I wasn't going to let it go, you know?
Does Robbo, like, are you ever like frustrated with the coach in that moment, like when you're getting dropped, or is it? Can you see why it is?
Yeah, of course you're frustrated. Like, we're human. Like, obviously, not getting picked, it's like, it feels shit. It's like, we know that you can play, but we're choosing to pick this guy. Like, obviously, it's not only an ego thing, but it's like black and white. We think he's better than you.
Yeah.
So it's like, of course, I'm like frustrated, but also you got to stay patient. I knew that it was going to be a process to get back in the team and then get back any minutes and then get back starting. And I just knew I had to sort of buy my time. The first couple of games I came back, I was playing like 15 minutes off the bench. Like Satili had already signed for 3 years. Siwa Wong had extended. I think that was what they were looking at doing. And the writing was on the wall that I could see that. And I was just sort of this third wheel for a little bit. And I was just like, I've just got to bide my time and take my opportunities when they come.
And then you just ripped in.
If you're out of favour, it's probably not the right word, but if you're sort of third string or second string,
you're a lingerer. You're hanging around.
When you linger, you're a third wheel a little bit.
Yeah.
In the back
100%.
row stakes. When you're training, are you looking over just to see if like Robbo's watching you? Are you sort of that in your own head about it?
No. But I'm trying to score 5 tries at training.
Yeah.
But I don't care if he's watching because I know he's watching.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like every training session, you got every coach there. You got drone footage every time, and like nothing goes missed at training. Okay. So for me, I was just making sure that I was the fittest I could be, and then doing my best at training to try to get back in that spot.
Does that ever strain relationships?
Friendships? No, I reckon it makes it tighter, man. Like it can be if you're a gimp. Yeah. But like when you're going up against,
good answer.
Yeah, when you're going up against your best mates, it's almost like fuck, we're all in this together kind of thing. Like, like Satili was one of my best mates at the club. He's gone dogs now. We still keep in touch like a lot now. But like same with Siwa Wong, same with Nat Butcher, Rads when he's there. It's a funny one because it's like you're not really, in no other world are you going to be going up against one of your mates for a position in your job. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're fighting for the mic every week.
Yeah. You're like, no, I want to talk more. Like, it's just not how it is. But it's funny. I feel like going through those because you go through it all together. Like it's funny. Like if like when Satili was starting, I was as shit as it feels for me to not be there. I was actually happy for him to have that opportunity, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I guess like that's when you know you've got a true friendship with someone, when you can be happy for something happening to them, even though it's shit for you. And he's the same. Like when I got back in the team, he was happy for me to be back. It's hard to comprehend it, but it's how it is.
I like hearing that though.
Yeah, I can understand it. I can understand the sort of the mentality.
But in a team of like, professional sport, you got big egos, you got super competitive guys, you got to be like a fucking.
Do you have there as bigger egos as maybe like people think?
I don't think so.
Maybe that Americanization of like sport
potentially
is like fucking feels ego-y, like
NFL
NFL and shit.
I don't think so. I think there's definitely egos, different characters, different guys. But no, in the locker room, everyone's pretty chilled.
Will you cut that didn't include you on the rap album? The boys?
No, I was not cut at all.
No, you didn't.
But I think they went about it the wrong way. Because there was a few songs that aren't that bad, but then there were a couple of absolute stinkers in there. So I feel like if they just like narrowed it down to 6 or 8 songs rather than what did there? It was like a 17
was it
song album.
In there?
Yeah,
is that right?
I think
fucking
so.
2 CDs worth.
Yeah, I think they wanted to go like a deluxe album. They should have just stuck to a more tight knit. But hey,
no, so you weren't
first album problems. You know what I mean? Everyone starts somewhere.
Yeah, you can't have a.
You got to start
everyone
somewhere with
has
having a
the first
shot.
albums
I
they
respect
hit.
that.
Yeah. Punters and Dribblers, we are brought to you by 4 Pines Japanese Lager and some exciting news. We are doing one of the great race days of all time, 19th of April at Royal Randwick, members area, trackside. Hello Sport times 4 Pines for a Dribblers Day out.
Picture this. Your mates Tom and Eddie in our bogan fineries. Yeah, the dress code is bogan suits.
Yep. General admission.
General admission. You know the drill. On a beautiful autumnal day, trackside, members reserve, whipping home ponies with like-minded individuals. That's punters and dribblers sucking on 4 Pines all day for free. Well, during the start and end time.
Ticket prices include booze and food all day. Obviously, 4 Pines will be there and available. But there's champers, there's wines, there's whatever you really want, you know?
There's also a punters and dribblers fedora.
Yep.
for everyone in attendance.
This is a great way to
fucking unmissable.
Great way to spend a Saturday. Link in the show notes. Link in bio. What are you doing? Let's get the crew together. Get the guys. Get the gals, and let's have a ripping Saturday, whipping home pones. And so, what about like when like the Origin last year? Were you how far out were you sort of expecting you were a chance to get back in the side?
It's funny because they do that early camp every year where they invite like 30 something players, and
So like a possibles, probables almost.
it's just like possibles.
Yeah.
But to be honest, it means nothing. Like and it's actually, it can be like on a day off, it can be a bit of a ball ache. But I didn't get invited to it in 2023, which understandably I had a shit end of the year, didn't do much, but Madge obviously got appointed a new coach, and he called me and he was like, "Oh, we've got these numbers. We don't have enough numbers to invite you, but I've still got my eye on you," kind of thing. This is when I was playing Reggie's before I'd even played a game. And he was like, "I'd love you to come around to my place." I just went around on the one outs and sat down with him and
Really?
had a conversation. His missus had like cut up fruit salad in the fridge.
Not the Robbo French red.
The fucking
Wine Dine 69,
the
fire up
wood-
the pizza.
Wood fire pizza.
No, I was on Madge's deck eating fruit salad.
Love that.
Yeah.
What,
That's
just
pretty-
talking footy?
Talking footy, talking life.
Is he sort of checking in on you there?
Yeah,
A bit?
well, it's funny. Like, as much as like a tough coach, like tough sort of figure that he is, like I've got a really good relationship with him. Like, he was the guy that got me across from Union in the first place when I was at South. So I had a meeting with him actually around the corner from here, like I think at Dank Street there somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
One of them little cafes, to get me to come across the league in the first place. So it was a bit of a full circle moment. Meeting up with my first coach, he was telling me it was his dream to sort of coach the Blues, blah, blah, blah. And then I sat down and he sort of just said, like, you don't lose your talent kind of thing. Like, he's like, I know that's still in you, and I've still got my eye on you. If you're playing well enough, there's no reason why you can't be in the team kind of thing. And that sort of married up with how I was feeling at the time as well. And that's the same sort of what I was talking about before, is just got to go brick by brick and get back in the team, get back playing minutes, back starting, and it all sort of timed itself pretty well.
That's pretty cool. That's
I
pretty
like
cool,
hearing
that.
that.
He's, he seems like it's just sort of like he does seem like that hard ass guy, but like instilling a bit of did you get a lift from hearing him say that, or do you not need external fucking?
No, well, you don't need it.
inspiration?
You don't need it, but
I do.
and I already had that belief,
really
like
well,
I was
mate.
saying.
Yeah, mate, I need cunts telling me. I'm doing it.
But yeah, it definitely is nice. Like, it's nice to know that I was on his radar, because obviously when you're playing well and you feel like you should be in the picture, it's nice to have a bit of reassurance that you are in the picture.
Yeah.
But I knew I was a long way out of the picture at that point. Like, I was still playing cup, so.
That's fucking hectic. How's your like general mindset now after just all the shit that you went through? Like, I don't know. I guess it's just sort of like, what's your world like now after that? As much as you want to go into it as well. I'm not sort of trying to dig too deep here, but
mate, I feel like I'm a lot more empathetic. I'm a lot more understanding. I've got a lot of, I guess, time for people, and understanding that people are going through a lot of stuff in everyday life. Like, I feel like it definitely grounded me a lot, and like I said, it sort of changed my path of my life, and it would be seen as a negative way, but I feel like going through that has given me such a different perspective on life itself. I've created really close relationships. I've understood who is really there for me and who's true for me. And like I touched on before, my partner Chloe, she was so rock solid through those times when she didn't owe anything to me. Like, I literally met her over in England, and then she randomly got thrown into this whole debacle of what was going on with me. And she stuck solid. We were talking every day through that period in 2023, and then we went on holidays at the end of 2023, and she ended up moving out here, and we're getting married this year. So
crazy.
Yeah,
There you go.
That's awesome.
How's it shaped your perception of the media? Is it was because you were front and center there for a long while, and like a lot of things have, in the fullness of time, come out as lies or they weren't true?
Yeah.
Like, is that hard to?
Yeah, it is hard, but I think that's just Australian
Move through
media,
that.
isn't
Yeah,
it? Like, I'm not sure how so much stuff can get reported and just have no legs behind it. I feel like you see so many guys that get their picture painted and a headline thrown out there, and then it turns out, oh, no, it was wrongly accused or they were found not guilty, but the damage is already done from those headlines and there's no accountability. But, what can you do but sit here and you sort of just got to try and make sure you're not in those positions.
Yeah. Was that hard on your family? Them
Yeah,
reading all that stuff?
for sure. I think, like my dad, just a pretty simple country farmer.
Yeah.
Especially my mum as well. Like she reads a lot of that stuff, and I felt bad for them, like having to. That was the biggest sort of thing that hurt me the most, was seeing them have to go through that kind of thing. And there was a while there, like walking around, you feel like people are talking about you, or if you walk past, you could be like, oh, these guys are looking at me and they're talking about what's going on with my life.
That would have been fucking hectic.
Oh yeah, it is. It's the worst, and I think only time can sort of heal that.
Yeah.
And it has done, but even now, it's just accepting that that's a part of my life now. Like that's what happened to me. It's a part of my story. And there has been some really positive experiences that have come from it. Like I was saying with relationships, but then also other people reaching out saying that seeing me go through my sort of stuff helped them either seek help or help them go through get through a tough time. I've had people reach out to saying thanks for sharing and sort of breaking stigma, or I've even met up with people for coffees that have been going through different things, or like a mum had reached out with her daughter and she'd had bipolar and gone through a few different wards and that kind of thing, and I went and met up with them for coffee and just chatted to them and that kind of thing, because it can be, I don't know, it can be a pretty isolating thing to go through, and I think probably seeing someone who has gone through it in, I guess, a very public arena and come out the other side of it, it can help some people.
For sure. Do you still have like ongoing, do you have to still like work on it? You know what I mean? Is it like a constant?
No, I think it's just having an awareness about awareness of who I am and how I'm wired, kind of thing, and keeping tabs on myself. My partner keeping tabs on that as well. But it's not like I don't take any medication now. I don't go to therapy or anything like that. But I think it's just more of an awareness thing for me and staying self-aware.
Well, mate, good on you.
Well done, man. Thanks, boys. Okay, that's unreal that you go and meet up with people as well.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It's cool.
That's brave of you, really is.
And I also, like I was saying, it's sort of like why hide away from it when it is part of your story and it's part of who I am now and part of, I guess, who I'll always be now. So it's, I may as well lean into it and try and help people that are either going through similar things or, need a bit of help.
And how were the club through that whole process?
Yeah, they were good. They stood by me and, they were really solid. It was obviously tough because when I was in there, I was like, I just want to get out and start training and this and that. And I was sort of getting different messages from different people, but it's just so good to be back now and just back on the straight and narrow, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like not have to worry about, mate, there was a period there where like my mum was staying in my spare room, like was worried about this or that, or they're calling me like, oh, can you FaceTime me to take your pills, or like, oh, you need to go to bed by this time, and now it's just, mate, I'm an adult, like I don't need that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I completely understand. If Mum was calling me being like, it's bedtime, I'd be fucking excuse me? No, I can.
My mum called me about my immune health today because I have what we all think might be a boil on my You got to go to bed. I'm like,
oh, so, mate, Mr. Boyle. But that must have made Origin this last year so much sweeter.
Yeah, it did. It did. The whole year, to be honest, was just a wild year. But I feel like it was such a nice reward for my family and that seeing them up in Suncorp, and it was a really special time. For myself, but also my friends and family that were there for me through that period.
Are you thinking about that when the whistle goes? Like, are these emotions coming to you immediately, or is it sort of in the weeks and months afterwards that you sort of?
I think probably like after
that sort of stuff?
Yeah, it's funny. Like after big games like that, in the moment, you're just obviously on top of the world. It's probably seeing your friends and family at the fence after. Like, my best mates were there, and mum and dad, and dad had a little tear in his eye, and it's the kind of thing that, it reminds you why you do this. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of reason why you play the game, and it's probably not until after like all the dust settled that you look back at the pictures and you look back at memories, and it's just like that was such a special time. For my family.
Beautiful time.
A beautiful time for the start.
One of the great.
We contend quite like genuinely maybe the greatest night outside of Manly premierships of our rugby league life. Like we were nearly coming in our pants.
It was, and because we watched it together, Tom. It was, and we watched it with it like it was just.
We've been watching Origin together for a lot of years.
It was probably my sweetest. It was probably the sweetest win.
And we were full Lebanese. Your hair was dyed. It was fucking. We had
the
drum.
Lebanese drum. We were gabbering like it was such a vibe. Bro. And
Had the TNs on.
for Mitch Pearce for Mitch Moses to score the fucking.
How good was he, man?
Yeah, he was mad.
Is he back this week?
I don't think this week he's coming.
I don't think he's too far away. I don't think he's too far away.
He's not too far away.
Was that first 65 minutes? Was that the most intense 65 minutes you've ever played?
Yeah, that was wild, especially because I remember I cranked my neck on Walsh and I had to go off.
Oh, that's right.
So I'm still, my neck's still that stiff now. Like
really?
Trying to get it right, yeah.
When did you go off? What minute?
It was pretty early on, wasn't it?
Yeah, it would have been like maybe 10 in. Yeah.
And yeah, was it Jeff go for an HIA?
Yeah, had 10 minutes and then came back out. There's rubbed like heaps of deep heat in my neck.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll fix it.
Yeah.
What about when you get the Wally Lewis medal? Do you feel like, obviously that's a great reward, but it's got a fucking Queenslander's name on it? I want to scribble it out and put Joey on it.
What do you think? What do you think of renaming it the Lewis Johns?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. To be honest, I didn't even think about Wally Lewis's name on it. I was just obviously stoked.
Yeah. Where's that medal at?
It's just at home. Yeah.
It's hanging up.
Yeah.
Front and center.
No, it's in this little case. Yeah.
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 That'd be on the fucking
mate,
door
man of the series in Origin. Like that's quite.
That's huge.
But it could have gone to anyone in the team. Like,
well, it
went
could
to
have.
you, though.
But if it had gone to anyone else, it would have been a fucking travesty.
Nah, it could have gone to anyone.
It could have, but it would have been a travesty, and we'll get you to say that on camera.
Yeah, we will.
We'll clip that up.
I want to get your thoughts on. Traditionally, New South Wales has trained in Coogee and stayed at the Novotel. There is it. Madge has moved the boys up to the mountains this time to fucking do the tough stuff. What was the difference in camps like last year compared to other series that you've played in?
I feel like it was actually probably more relaxed. Like we get our training done, we train hard. His big focus was like on connection. He didn't want boys going out on their own, going home, all that kind of thing. So I think that was his idea, was to move everyone away, where you sort of away from those distractions. And sort of get us, like, it's a pretty new team. He wanted everyone to sort of bunker in and get to know each other. And I guess because at the end of the day, with those sort of big games, you don't have long. You're not sort of teaching guys how to play footy again. You're just getting them to play for each other. So yeah, I liked going up there. I feel like you got the group really connected, and our days were pretty short. Like we were done by 1 o'clock most days, which meant there was a lot of time for like hanging out and just relaxing, and a little sauna up there, and it was freezing cold. So there was like a pool that was like an ice bath pretty much, and golf course. I don't play golf. I'm shocking at golf, but cruise around some cafes and that.
Yeah, nice.
Well, I just like the idea of getting up with the mountain folk. That's sort of what we thought it was. Just the humble, hard-working mountain folk, tough hands, carrying railway sleepers and shit.
Yeah. There's a lot of that.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's what we thought.
We thought there's a lot of railway sleepers, carry logs up mountains, just fucking get hard for me, boys.
We'll get back to blue collar.
Blue collar stuff. Yeah, it's a bit flashy down in Coogee, you know what I mean?
Stuff that makes the state great.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly right.
Nah, it's a hell of a resort, that Fairmont.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was good.
My dad stayed there and he goes, you won't believe what the team's here. And he's like,
was he there when
I go, don't fucking lurk around annoying anyone, Dad. Just leave them alone. They got a shield to win,
Let them
mate.
fucking rest, Dad. What are you doing?
Just relax, mate.
I'd love to see your old boy just jam toast.
Lurking now, but I knew he would have been lurking too.
Yeah, lingering around.
Just stop it, mate.
Punters and dribblers, if you're like myself and Edward Simpson, you were given a gift from the gods on the weekend, and that was a race on the Sunshine Coast where Birmingham was running.
That's a gift from the punting gods given out by a punter / dribbler.
$9.75. You hear about that, you get on with Ned's, and you whip home a grey.
That's all you need to do. So if you want to get a red hot tip, if you want to whip home a grey, do it with Neds, the best in the fucking business.
That's right. Follow on our profiles. Join the About Even group. Get amongst it if you're that way inclined. What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website. You cunts better not be getting Cherry Evans, mate. Like, what's going on? I mean, I know you can't tell us. You probably
I don't know. Obviously, it'd be a good acquisition.
Ooh.
Oh, okay, wow.
But who knows, man? Who knows?
Yeah.
I think.
Do you pay much attention to that sort of stuff? Like who the club's potentially looking at? Like,
Yeah,
you
well,
know?
I think it's in the media. You see it everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like nothing I do or say will change anything. So I've got.
No, yeah, you don't.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, they don't
I'm
ask
not
you
pulling.
about- they
I'm
don't
not
ask you
pulling
about
strings.
trades,
I'm
mate?
not pulling strings. No.
You're a bit more of a leader though in the club now. Even like after that famous win against Penrith the other day. You know, like I don't know whether it was you being interviewed after the game or even if it was maybe Teddy being interviewed, but just referring to you as like a bit more of a leader in the team. Is that new? Like, do you get like do you get put into a leadership group, or are you just sort of like, do you feel it?
I feel like there's
to start leading?
different levels of like leadership, I guess. Like since I came in, like even when I was at South, you sort of been in that leadership group as a young, like they've always got like younger leaders in there, and then you get a bit older. I was at Roosters in the leadership group when I was say like 25 or 26, and now I guess I'm 29, and it was then you lose Jared and Kiri and that, and then Teddy's the sort of main captain, and then sort of Rads, Linz, myself and Connor and Spencer. So then that game when Rads and Linz weren't playing, it was pretty much just Teddy, me and Connor. So that was the most I've felt like, fuck, I've got to be one of the older leaders here.
Yeah.
It was sort of a different level of, oh yeah, I'm in the leadership group just because I'm a good young kid. I'm sort of middle-aged now, mid-20s. I've still got Jared and Kez leading ahead of me, then Teddy and Boydo are captain or Nuggie are captain. But I think just because obviously we've lost a lot of leaders, then there's a few of us, I guess, middle-aged leaders that have to step up. And then when those Lindsay and Rads both weren't in, that's the most I felt like, yeah, okay, I've got to step up tonight.
Yeah, that must have felt nice.
It was cool. It was a really cool experience, and it's something that I feel like I want to keep trying to carry over into the games this year. I feel like we've got so many good young players, and it's just about filling up those guys with confidence to go and play and go and be those beasts. It's a funny one because it's a fine line between like spraying someone and getting the best out of them, as opposed to trying to pump them up to get the best out of them. Like everyone reacts differently, and it's been cool sort of learning that bit of leadership.
How have you found learning that skill set? Because it is a skill set, leadership and management. Like it's not something
I'm
I've
just
found to
smiling.
be.
Well, like, what do we do?
Well, we've got a couple. We've got a couple of employees here,
You
right?
got a couple of employees behind
I
the
don't
scenes. You gotta
think
yell at 'em.
it doesn't come that easy. I think sometimes you're like you've
Fuck
got to
no, it
work at
doesn't.
it, and you got to be really conscious of it. Like, what
Yeah.
do you think your leadership style is, and where have you got inspiration?
No, I'm not much of a like. I hate when guys talk too much and
Yeah.
I don't know, trying to talk a big talk and then you're not delivering. You know what I mean? Like if you first of all, if you want to be leading, you got to be doing the work yourself, kind of thing. So that's my biggest thing. Is I've always, like I was saying before, at training, that's where it starts for me. Is just trying to train the hardest I can.
I thought you were about to set the
Say
house
house
down.
I was like, you.
That would have been perfect. Please say it. Please say it.
Yeah, so I feel like it starts on the training paddock, and then I don't know, just getting that, I don't know, that belief in those young guys for them to go and be themselves and express themselves and trust themselves, I guess. I feel like Boydo, he was sort of my role model as obviously as a back row and as a leader. He's captain of his state and his country when he was, how old? He was like 26, 27 for like years. So
Shout out to Mr. Cordner.
yeah, I feel like he was the blueprint of just, it doesn't need to say too much, but watch me, watch what I'll do, follow me kind of thing. And obviously I'm my own person, so you want to put your own sort of spin on it. But I feel like for me, it's just getting young guys to believe themselves and then trying to, I don't know, like lead the way with your actions as well.
Have you got a spray in you though?
I don't think I do. I don't think well, it depends on what it is. I think if it's an effort thing, I think then it warrants a spray. But I feel like it's tough because like if someone drops a ball or misses a tackle when they're trying their ass off, it's like you're just gonna make him feel shitter if you go and spray him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mate, some young kid like
Yeah.
on debut getting a spray from AC.
You just don't need. You don't
No,
need that.
I get
'Cause
you.
then
It's
if- like especially with young guys, then if they go into their shell, like you're fucked.
Do you think it's more like, I mean, sprays are better reserved for like training where like standards are set? Like in terms of if you fuck up in a game, like everyone knows, it's like, yeah, bro, I know I fucking dropped the ball. Whereas if it's like, if you're in training, you're not.
Yeah, I can be, I'm more open to setting standards at training, like being like, we need to do this, we need to do that, for sure.
And everyone's always, we were just touching on training, but like, you know, every time you're mentioned at training, it's like he just goes so fucking.
Yeah, no, I
believe-
do love training.
I believe Sam Burgess said it.
He might, well, yeah, exactly.
But
right?
like
So
you were
there
just
go.
like the worst guy to train with because you just live for contact.
Yeah, well, even that's what I was talking to one about. Like,
You're also fucking huge. You're bigger. I didn't think you could grow once you're an adult. Like, I know you were 28.
You've grown in the last
You've gotten bigger.
couple of years.
yeah, it was man strength.
No, but like, you've
you're
got
filling
taller.
out.
I saw you at Bronte. I'm like, this guy's fucking getting bigger. He's getting taller every time I look at
No,
him.
I remember being same height. It's probably just filling out.
Well, you've definitely done.
You're getting your man bod.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, maturing.
So you've just always loved training hard.
Yeah, well, even like if you're in the second team and you're not training hard, what are you doing? Like if you're in the main squad and someone's running hard at you, you can't fault that because they're coming for your spot. You know what I mean? And I feel like creating that culture at training it's a positive thing. Like there's only one way to help each other get better, and that's through actually practicing what you want to do.
Yeah.
Feed each other.
Yeah,
gotta fucking feed each
You have to
other.
feed each other. Yeah,
Which is that's ours. That's our mentality here at Hello Sport.
yeah.
It's just feed each other until we get better and better.
We've had one wrestle.
Yeah, we have.
Who won?
one
Who
wrestle.
won?
Well, listen, to be honest, I think you could almost say it came out pretty even.
Is there footage?
There is actually.
There is
but at
footage.
one point, Eddie was full mount on me and had his hands around my throat.
How did you guys start? Was it like a knee wrestle? Was it
We
standing?
did a live stream here with Scope and Mason, and we all got fucking smashed.
Yeah.
Blind.
And then they
I
left.
love a good maggot wrestle.
Yeah. They
And then
left.
it was sometimes you just know.
Yeah, it's
Like,
on.
It's got to go. It's
Yeah.
gotta
You
go
got to
down.
go down.
Yeah.
And listen, I finished on top, but there was a point there where
20
Eddie
kilos
was.
on me as well.
Well, exactly. I got the girth, but he had his hands around my throat, like fully fucking.
Yeah.
Like in the
choking me.
movies. You
Or
know?
maybe you need to run it back.
Listen, I'm happy to do that at some point. Once, obviously, you know, I can't be not while the antibiotics are in my system, man.
No,
Obviously,
not when
I'm
you got a
compromised.
fucking boil on your leg.
No, he's got
They'll rub that
golden
dirty
staff.
boil on
Golden
you, eh?
staff in his
I'll wrestle
groin.
if I can take my pants off.
You'll be having a staph prop infection. in your
I know,
sport.
around the fucking office.
How stoked have you been as well, just in terms of great 2024s for Connor Watson? Because he, like yourself, if memory serves,
Yeah.
was not in the first grade side at the start of last season.
Yeah, for sure. I think he's such a beast. Like he's a mad trainer as well. Like he wins all of our fitness tests and like he's as strong as I am, like on the bench and all that kind of stuff.
What are we talking?
He'll be throwing up 150 easy.
Jesus.
And he's like, would he be 80 something?
Yeah, he's not big.
not that tall,
He's
no.
jacked and he's hot.
Yeah, he's
not
jacked
tall.
hot. He'd be throwing up 150.
Jesus Christ.
Speaking of bench, Dom Young's bench is crazy. as
Really?
well. Yeah, he'll be throwing up 150 easy.
Who's king of the bench in there?
I reckon Dom would be without even trying.
Dom Young
Yeah.
is?
Really?
Wow.
And he's like 6'7" or something.
Yeah, those
He's
long
humongous.
levers.
But I feel like that'd be harder.
Yeah, exactly.
Further to go.
You got way further to go.
Yeah. No,
You got those stumpy Sebo arms if you want to try and get the bench up.
yeah.
So 150 easy. So what are we talking?
What's
then?
your max?
My max, that's the max I've done, 150.
Okay, 150.
But I don't know what Dom would be throwing up, but he does that light. He'll be
Damn,
right.
dude, for a winger.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You got some people are getting bigger, right? That are playing rugby league now. Like you're all getting way bigger.
Is that a
I
question?
reckon.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying.
I thought you was leading into something.
No,
I'm
I'm
getting
saying-
bigger.
Well, like Joey Sewell, he's left. He's
Yeah.
fucking massive.
Yeah,
Mark
he's
Nwonga
huge.
Nitawase is
Nailed it.
massive.
Well done, yeah.
He's a big boy.
Yeah,
like,
he is,
You're
yeah.
fucking growing, even though you're
Yeah.
denying it. Like what? What's doing?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just these training programs.
How is Mark settling in? We interviewed
Mate,
him the
he's
other day.
he's such a good man. Wait, you ran into him? You
No, he
said?
came on the potty.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Sick. Nah, he's hilarious. He's. I feel like he's just a big kid. Like he's just so happy to Like you guys would have seen when he came in, he's just smiling and happy.
Yes.
He would have laughed at all your jokes, even though he probably didn't find them funny.
Well, we're
Did he?
hilarious though.
Yeah.
Like, I bet
Fucking
you.
ruined that whole experience for me now.
But yeah,
He's cool. He's a nice guy.
he's a good dude.
And dude, like an athlete.
Oh yeah, he can play.
It's impressive how quickly as well that he's sort of. It's impressive in one hand because he hasn't played rugby league for so long. It's also like he was the best player in rugby, so it's also
so
not
long.
that impressive.
He's literally on his 5th game. Like,
yeah,
he
but starting to really like show. What
Yeah, he
can do.
didn't play growing up or anything. Like it's a completely new sport for him.
Yeah. It's pretty hectic. That chip and chase he almost got the other day.
Oh, yeah, that
was
would've been
horny
sick.
stuff.
That was
it's
very
It's
horny.
tough for me, Angus, because I fucking hate your club so much, and I like you guys. I like you. I like Mark. We met Teddy at the UFC.
Yeah.
He's a dear friend now.
Teddy's a dear friend.
Yeah.
In fact, I like all your players.
Are you gonna get Teddy on the podcast?
Well, we did ask him, and he respectfully said no podcast yet. I don't know what that means.
Yet?
He
Is it
said
open?
not yet.
He was open to it. Obviously, it stings to just get a no out the gate, but I haven't
but
seen
it
him do
wasn't-
any other podcasts.
It wasn't a no. It was I don't do potties.
Yeah.
So it's not a no right now.
Yeah.
But
It's a no now, not no.
Why doesn't he do
forever.
potties?
I didn't feel. I felt like if I'd pressed him on that would have been too much. Like,
Okay,
if I was like,
you didn't want to
why?
come on too strong.
I was like, why not? And then, like, dude,
we've had a
relax.
few no's from fullback. It might be a fullback thing.
Could
what
be
other
a fullback
fullbacks
thing.
have knocked you back?
Gutho.
Gutho knocked us back.
Gutho knocked us back.
Yeah.
He
He
said,
goes, I like you boys, but nah. We're like, right, okay.
yeah, that wasn't even a one day. It was like a nut.
Yeah, that was just a big fat no.
Who else has knocked you back?
Who else? Nico Hines has said yes a bunch, but then sometimes
Fullback.
it's like one of
I
the
know he's a
worst
half,
things
but-
to ask. Like you
Yeah.
feel like you're being annoying, right? And so then when you can't line it up, and then you're like, oh no, that's all good, man. Like we can, I'll hit you back in like in a week or so and see what's going on. And then you're like,
So
and
what?
it
You're
sort of
pretty
just
much saying
peters
Nico
out.
Hines is full of shit.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That is absolutely not what I'm saying. But I feel like I couldn't tell whether he was trying to just like he didn't know how to say no. So
Is he
trying to be like,
is he love bombing you guys?
It felt like maybe he was just fucking I'll do it, and then
Maybe you should
disappear.
put in a good word.
Yeah.
Like, mate, the boys are all right.
We're probably going to
Yeah.
get you at the end of this podcast. We're just going to get you barreling the camera going, oi, this player, come on.
Yeah.
I'm Angus Crichton
Sweet.
and I approve this message.
Sweet. Yeah.
Kalen Ponga would be good. He hasn't rejected us.
Have
You
you
started following us the other day.
There you go. So maybe that's fucking...
reach out? Well, what did you message me back in the day to get me on?
Oh, dude, we used to finish... That's it. For those of you that are new here, you were like one of our first guests back in 2018, and the way we did it back then was we just finished every podcast with Reach Out Angus Crichton.
Yeah.
That was the way we finished our podcast. All right, that's it. We're done here. Thanks for it.
I
Reach
think
Out
you
Angus
was it
Crichton.
reach? You calling me a throbber, I think.
Throbber.
Yeah,
no, you were the...
You still are a throbber. You're probably the original
He
throbber.
might have been the original throbber.
Yeah.
We might need to get like...
And then I'd have
Because you
like
were throbbing back then. You come out of school, you said, fuck you to the Tars.
Yeah, you had to pick up your shoe on the
that
phone.
actually said,
Yeah,
that actually
the
said
shoe.
fuck you to your
the shoe
your
fellow was
face.
funny. Yeah.
Well, they were like, listen, we think you're good in that, but we don't reckon you're probably Tars level.
Yeah.
20,
Until
was
you're
it
like
23,
25.
24?
Yeah, they said when you're 23 you'll play.
Yeah, and you're playing Origin.
Yeah.
Listen. And then that's when you fucking... I love the shoe.
The shoe
That was
fell
the
off. Yeah, chucked it
What's
up.
up? Oi, show me the money. I think was the angle there. No, but that's crazy. It's that was 2018.
It's
I
full
can't believe
circle. Now you guys are in full studio.
We're in here. You're a premiership winner.
Yeah,
You're a Wally Lewis
fans.
Johns medal winner.
Well,
Do you ever wear those Seagull shoes?
I'll wear them out usually.
Yeah, he gathers
There's
on
Eddie on
them.
the side of them, you know what I mean?
I don't know where the fuck mine are. I think mine are at home, and my wife's like biggest bugbear is that I have too many shoes, and then she'll see those that I don't really put on that often. She's like, "Bro, you need to fucking sort it out.
Yeah.
There's too many shoes going on in here."
Too much. It's all merch
Yeah, it is. It's
and
crap.
affiliated shit. Where are you at contractually?
I am signed for this year and next year,
Okay.
and then I'm not sure.
Who's your manager?
His name's Dave Rawling. Shout out to him. Good
Shout out to
man.
Dave. What's up, Dave?
Yeah, no, he's rock solid. He's been such a good, sort of good. I don't know, sort of. He brought me across the league from the start. It was after those tournaments you play out at Review, like the New South Wales rugby tournaments.
It might shock you we weren't in them.
Oh,
you mean like New South Wales?
like when you're like 18,
Schoolboys.
yeah, out at Review.
Yeah, like I've
Yeah.
heard of them.
Yeah. You know what? It actually means a lot for you to just assume for a second we knew what you were talking about. It's,
Yeah, anyway, well, he just sort of picked me up from there, and he had that meeting with Madge with me, and he was even just like, "Yeah, this contract's on the table for you. Even if you don't sign with me, they're offering you this, so come along."
Did you have a bunch of managers hitting you up, like back in the day when you were ripping it?
He was the first one, and then as soon as I went for that meeting with him, I was like, "Yeah, sweet, done."
Did
And
he
just-
line up the meeting with Madge?
Yep.
So that's
He lined up the
smart.
meeting and had a 2-year contract on the table.
Yeah, you come
Before
with
I had
with
it.
He
shit.
came
Yeah.
prepared.
Yeah.
Came ready.
Knock with your elbows.
Yeah, he came ready.
Hey, what's that? So, do you introduce him to your parents? What's that process like? Do you
Yeah,
ask,
so if
do you
we-
ask around about what sort of guy he is? Like,
Yeah, well, we went for a meeting, just me, my mum, dad, and him
Yeah.
down at Bondi one day, and then went for that meeting with Madge, and it was all pretty on from there. And like he's been great. He's helped me hook up like different property stuff with all this business stuff I'm doing. Obviously with like registering with ASIC and that kind of thing. Like that's where
all the fun stuff.
Yeah, exactly. He's
Eddie's my
great.
manager
He's
in
great
that
in the
context
background.
because I don't know what the fuck.
It's all pretty bland, but it's got to be done.
You doing that yourself, are you?
Yeah. Self-taught, mate.
He's a business guy.
Yeah.
I'm not the business. Like
Yeah.
not like that nitty gritty shit.
Yeah.
I prefer to fucking.
I've
shop
still
my
got
cock.
no idea, but I feel like I've got more of an idea than
I
some.
got
Mate, you were
way
saying
more
all the
of an
right
idea.
terms at the
Yeah.
start, so you got some idea for sure.
That's it. Like I know, but if you, it would be poor business
If
to
you-
have me doing it.
Yeah. Well, my takeaway from your podcasting. Imagine you're distracted with registering businesses.
Oh no, exactly. It completely would. Whereas Eddie's able to
He can
do both.
compartmentalize, yeah.
I can't. I'm content. Tommy content. That's all I can tell you.
Tommy Content, that's his name.
Just keep me over here. Keep me over here on the couch.
Yeah.
Keep me well fed.
Keep him on the Instagram.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Hydrated,
just get him,
well
let him
fed.
get lost into his algorithm. That's the way he likes it. Mate.
Dude, my algorithm gets fucking crook sometimes.
What, boils? You'd be
No,
getting a fair
dude, do
few
you see
boils
that? Do you
across
see
your
that?
desk
Do you
now,
see
wouldn't
that?
you?
Oh fuck, we don't have the TV. It was like
The thing you sent me.
oh no, that one was cool. That was I get heaps of like dad shit now.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
It was
yeah.
like what was it? It was like neurons.
Well, it was the neural pathways developing in a fetus. Pretty.
Listen, you may not be that
You're
interested.
not not quite there yet. But
Although
yeah,
when I bumped into you and Bronte the other day, it seemed like you two were kind of clucky because I
Oh,
had my
dog,
kids
I'm-
there. He
I'm
was
keen
like,
as, yeah.
Chloe, there's a baby here, and she's fucking sprinted up.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh,
she's a
okay.
sicko for it.
well, mate, you're getting to that age.
Yeah.
Exactly, man. Yeah, exactly.
When are you getting married? Have you set a date?
Yeah, soon.
Nice.
Soon.
Good man.
No,
Congratulations.
special.
We're pumped for
Appreciate it. Eh?
You going like where are you going to do it at home?
No, we're going Hunter Valley.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, it'll be good.
Punters and dribblers, the new offering from your good friends Tom and Eddie and the people at Be Good Health is hitting the shelves. Oh, Daylights, daily electrolytes.
Get it?
Watermelon flavoured, obviously salty because any electrolyte worth its salt has salt. This salt is sourced from the Murray River, the only naturally occurring pink salt, I believe, in the Southern Hemisphere. If not, it's the nation. Do your own research.
832 milligrams of glorious Murray River salt. Get that up your Tom. The perfect amount of sodium, baby.
Perfect.
Into the bod, help you rehydrate, keep you frothing on all cylinders. Now, when is it released? You might be asking at begoodhealth.com.au. This Sunday, okay? Everyone's going to be devastated because daylight savings is over. That's why Daylights comes in to make you feel a little bit better. Every box of Daylights bought this weekend gets a free Daylights bottle. Yeah, a free one. Get a box, get a free bottle. You're welcome. If you're a subscriber of Good Day, you will have early access on the Saturday, 24 hours before, because we love you and we want to say thanks. Making sense? BeGoodHealth.com.au, code DRIBBLERS for 10% off. You cannot subscribe to Daylights yet. That will be coming in the future.
Worth mentioning as well that 8 out of 10 Australians are dehydrated. Whoops. Problem solved.
Problem solved. Also, newsflash, tastes fucking delicious.
Tastes.
We keep running out in the studio because the boys pound it into the earth. That's a fact. Yep. Find out for yourself. BeGoodHealth.com.au this Sunday. Subscriber this Saturday. Yo.
Is your old man, is he big? Like, are you bigger than him? I
feel like he's probably thick. We got the same like thick torso.
Yeah,
you know?
right. Farm
thick
strong
legs,
shit.
farm strong. Yeah, but no, he's had bad shoulders, like most farmers. Yeah.
Do you get home much?
Well, the farm I grew up on in Young, they sold that. So Dad's in Tamworth now, so it's easier to get up there, but I wouldn't call that like home. You know what I mean? It's different, but I'll still go visit him a bit. Yeah, like we had Christmas at Mum's this year, but we went up to Tamworth last year, and my cousins are up in Walgett. So
Oh, nice. You still doing much with the Indigenous? I said it at the start. What was
yeah,
it called?
First People Project.
Yeah.
No, it was funny. Like when I went through all that kind of that period in 2023, I stepped away from that and just had to. I was like, I've really got to zero in on what my life is here and making sure that that's nailed first before I'm going to go and try and help people and that kind of thing.
Yes.
So I haven't for the last little bit. We've been looking at teaming up with this guy named John Dimble who works with the Ella brothers. So I've had a few meetings with them about like potentially like merging as a corporation together. So we're sort of still in talks there, but I feel like I just don't have the capacity to do it
For
at
sure.
the minute.
Yeah. And are you still in touch with those boys that you
they're
sort of mentor?
They're both back home with like kids and that. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I remember when we spoke last time, you were up there, like in Arnhem Land, mixing it with the family and stuff.
No, it is it's such a sick experience, and it's such a completely different world. And I feel like for those kids, the difference that you can make is after school. Like once you can give them these educations, but what's the point of giving them an education if you can't find them a next step?
Yeah.
Post school, a lot of them will just go home and end up sort of, I don't know, having kids and get back into that same sort of cycle, which is obviously that's great if that's what they want to do. But if they want something else for them, it can be such an easy thing to fall back into that. It's probably more natural than, hey, let's get you to TAFE or go to uni. That was where we were sort of looking at trying to, I don't know, help to create a different path or a different option for these kids that are getting these scholarships in the city. But for me, I feel like I've sort of tried to make my difference in that space, and I'm still open to doing that. And I'm still such a, I'm such a proud Australian person, and I have such a strong attachment to our Indigenous culture and our Indigenous people because I feel like that is Australian history, and that's something that we should celebrate as a country. But I'm not sure where my sort of spot is to help out, but I'm always here and always a big advocate for it.
For sure.
Sick.
What's the schedule here for Scots College First 15? Like, are we getting to a game? You guys there's a few Scots boys in the Roosters team. I just feel like we all need to get down there, get together, a couple of First 15 alum. You can come, Eddie, but
I think there's like 6 of us now in there. Like,
there's I keep looking at it. Steep's a fucking
Steepy's a Scots boy.
Siwa, Billy,
Tony Large.
Hugo Fluffy Savala.
Yeah, Savala is,
Yeah.
Oh, so there's 6 of you at the Roosters.
Yeah, just the Roosters. And then we've obviously...
That's the way now. I feel like a lot of these clubs, they're signing these kids rather than signing on like a basic contract. They're signing them saying, "Oh, we'll give you guys a free education at a boarding school like Scots."
Yeah,
is that right?
Which is such a better thing. Like,
there's more value in
or
that.
to give them the experience of going to a school like that. You're bored. Like Steepy loved it. Siwa loved it. Like,
yeah,
to give them that experience, I feel like that's better than chucking them, I don't know what, 30K.
Fully.
As like a 15-year-old, you know? Like,
yeah, absolutely. We were talking to someone today. I would love if we just, like, if every school just acknowledged, we're just going to fucking throw shitloads of money at getting all the best boys into these sides.
I think that's what they're starting to do.
That's pretty much what
that's what's happened. Like, Seawell was a Scots when he was like 13.
Well, that's the thing with Onatoni. He was at Manly. I was thinking, like when we met him out there, I was like, oh, you know, how long you been there for? And he's like, mate, I've been here fucking basically since the start.
Yeah. Or who else is that? That winger that was at Newington.
It's Tola Coolers. He was in Newington.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But like, televise the shit. Like, film it. Like, let's fucking.
Who was tossing that up? I saw someone tossing that up.
Were they?
Online.
I'd love that, dude.
Mate, it's some of the best rugby to watch.
Yeah.
Schoolboy rugby. It's red hot. I think they played 2 games now.
Oh, yeah. They play every team twice now?
I think they've gone back to twice.
You're not paying attention as much. You've got bigger fish to fry,
I'm
obviously.
not in there. I went for my first game the other day. Last year, I took my missus up there and she was like, couldn't believe that I went to that school. And she was like, we cannot send our kid to this school.
Yeah, have you seen the new library now? Like the Sandstone. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just
Isn't
so because obviously I told her it was a pretty posh school, but when she got there, she was like, "This is fucking crazy."
Yeah, it's hard
a different world.
It is a different
world.
And mate, you don't want to get caught up in that world. Like some of these parents, man, like watching their kids play first 15 is crazy.
Yes,
but
it was like
when you're in there, when you're playing, it's good fun. It's sick.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah.
And I think like I was talking to my mum or my wife or like maybe even both about it, where it's like I wouldn't change the experience at all. I loved going there. My family was well off, but we weren't like Scots College well off, right? They were clearly like they could afford to send me there. But it sort of fucking warped my perception of what was real for a while.
Yeah.
Where like once I left school, I just had a fucking warped perception of just like money and what things were worth and like what was normal.
Yeah, Point Piper
mansions and like people with like multiple pools in their house.
Yeah, it's wild, man. It's wild.
boats and shit.
Yeah, now you're trying to buy a place in Sydney. For,
Well, not trying.
yeah.
Yeah, just going, fuck, we'll see. We'll
Yeah.
wait, and hopefully there's a
But we'll
crash.
tee that up. We'll tee that up.
Yeah, we'll get down to
Bring all the
Scott's
boys.
Coast.
Bring
Yeah.
Billy. He's one of the
he'll be
greats.
keen.
Yeah.
I'll find me old jersey, get it on. Slip
What,
into
your
it.
second grade
Chuck your
mate?
blazer on. Get his
I'll go
colours
find me
on.
old blazer.
What do you think about this? I've got to tell you something.
Yeah, this
Tell
is
you
a
what
good
you
one.
think.
This is tough. This is
So Tommy got injured for a lot of his Year 12 first 15 career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I played 4 games.
he technically didn't play enough games to get
Colours.
colours. So his mum went into the school
Yeah, bro.
and begged him to give him
Well,
colours.
now listen. This is.
What do you
this is-
think of that?
Well, no,
Is
hold
that-
on. Let me give even more context to the story because
That's
I don't.
pretty
Hey, listen. I
uncouth.
don't shy away from this. The problem that I had was that I found this out years after finishing school.
Oh, so you just thought you got given it?
I just thought I got colours. I thought they were like, "Oh fuck, mate, you would have been there, but you fucked your knee."
Did the boys know?
No
that
one
your-
fucking-
Did the boys
well,
know?
listen,
that, did
I
the
don't
boys know that your mum went in there
I didn't
groveling?
know. I don't know who knew. If they did know, they kept it quiet. But when
Jeez.
I found out, I was like,
Yeah,
"That's scat."
that is a bit scat, but
Well, it is scat.
Yeah.
No, it's very scat.
it's completely scat.
But it's very. Oh, dude. Well, needless to say, I don't know where that blazer is anymore, so I wouldn't be able to wear it. But I'd be too ashamed.
It's at home. It's in his mum's cupboard. At
Yes,
home.
she's got a frame.
She's got a frame, mate. She's got a frame.
Yeah, I can't relate. I had colours when I was 16. My bad.
What the fuck for?
No.
Were you in the first when you were 16?
Yeah.
In year 10.
Oh, that's Flex City, dude. Flex City, bro. Holy
You played like basically every position, didn't you? That's
Yeah,
my
I
memory.
started off at like 6, 8, and then when I got to year 12, there was like a load of back rows and we had no like midfield, no centres. And I was just like, yeah, I'd be keen to go play in the centres. So I jumped in at 12, 13, and probably had my best season there at 12.
shit.
There you go. Busy boy.
10, so 3 years.
Yep.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
That's hot. That's real hot. Wow. Wow. That's more impressive to me than anything you've done in rugby league.
Nah.
Fuck the Wally Lewis, dude.
Oh, Lewis medal, bro. Three's the rest of the day.
Yeah, fucking Roy
Fucking
Lewis,
hell.
man. Show me your blazer.
Yeah, Carl's
Three's
in year
first
10.
15. That's like they're Kirtley areas. He was year 9.
No,
He was year 9.
yeah. He was diffy, bro. He was like, was he in GPS 1s in year 10?
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I was GPS 3s.
What, in year 10?
Yeah.
Flex. Big flex.
Do you play schoolboys?
I was Oz A year 11. I'd like fucked my neck and came back and just got back for Oz A. And then year 12, I was in schoolboys and did my ankle day before we went on tour.
But you got picked.
Yeah, I got picked, yeah.
That's all it
But
matters.
I'd already signed at South as well, so it was like I was spewing, but I was also like, I already know what my future is kind of thing, so it wasn't too bad, and I just locked in and went hard in my
Was
ACL.
anyone that we would know of now that was in that schoolboys team?
I think Henry Hutchison might have been in there. Sevens?
Oh, yes. Yeah, no, I know Henry.
Yeah.
Who else would you know?
But it's not one of those like super decorated.
Wasn't a
years.
decorated.
I played Oz-A with Sione Tuipulotu.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Dude, he's now captain of Scotland.
Yeah. He's killing it.
He's like the centre. He's inside?
yeah, inside.
He scored against us, the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's good. How the fuck what's he?
Yeah, it's wild.
That's
Wild
just-
that Oz Rugby let him go, but
That's what happens, right?
Yeah.
That's what we do.
And would you ever entertain a move to rugby? Obviously, we
That
talked
was
about
it,
this
yeah.
before.
this is what got me in trouble. The first podcast I did with you guys, I remember.
Yeah, that's right. It got picked up.
So
Well,
I was
here's your
like,
chance.
I was like 22, just signed at Roosters, came across and like, when things are going well, like young as didn't know anything about media. I was just on this couch chatting shit with you two. You asked me that and I was like, oh yeah, I wouldn't mind one day going back, blah, blah, blah. Next minute I got Freddie Fittler calling me being like, if I ever hear you talk about rugby union again, I'm never picking you in any of my teams.
Oh my
Really? Me as like a
God.
22-year-old, I'm like,
Fuck,
yes, Freddie.
hell, that's crazy.
I just signed a Robbo, and Robbo's like, mate, what are you doing? Like, because they just could transcript from your guys' interview, and it's like on Daily Telegraph and shit like that. And I was just like, this little 22-year-old going across the Roosters, and I'm just wigging out. Got the Origin coach calling me, got my new coach calling me. I was just like, what am I doing?
I can't believe Freddie called you and said that.
Yeah.
Well, about he's a league man. I get it.
Well, no,
Yeah.
his son's-
Well, mate, I
his
respect
son's
it. I needed, and from that point forward, whenever I was asked about union, I'd always just bat it off, be like, I'm here at the Roosters. I'm here at the Roosters. But yes, I
Until
would
now.
be open. I would be open to going back, but
I'd love
I
to
don't
see
know.
that.
I don't know where. Please don't get angry, anyone. But
Yeah. But you'd like, is it? I'm not trying to get you to say it. Fucking, I'm going back to union. That's not what you're
I was
saying,
close.
but, like-
I was close to going back when I thought I had to leave.
Yeah.
and then it ended up falling through. So, yeah, thank God that didn't happen.
Was that the
Force chat
for feeder?
Yeah. Oh no, it was when the Roosters were pretty much like, oh, you can't cut. No, it was before Fafita.
Okay.
It was before the 24 season when, pretty much I got tapped on the shoulder and I was like, yeah, you got to go.
Yeah. Okay.
But that was after your sort of your dramas?
Yeah,
Yes. And so they're saying you're going, and then you're like, all right, fuck, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Where were you going to go? Force?
Yeah, that was the
Shit.
That was the writing on the wall. But then, yeah, I'm happy that didn't eventuate because obviously I wanted to stay there and I wanted, and then the club ended up being like, oh, it's actually all right, you can stay.
Whoops! Oh shit! You're killing it. What did we say?
No, this was before I even started playing again. They said, okay. "Oh yeah, it hasn't worked. All right, it would be sweet. You can stay."
Have you ever?
I really hope this podcast doesn't get me in trouble. So if you're watching this, please do not stitch me up.
This is an official.
Take it all with a grain of salt.
Listen, all he's saying is that he's fucking heavily entertaining, coming to the Wallabies for the Lions tour.
Even though he's contracted to the end of
Contracted with the Rugby, yeah. Well, fucking. But did you ever get close to signing with any other clubs? And you don't need to tell us, but like, whether
blink twice, it was Manly ever.
Did Manly ever show any interest in?
No, Manly weren't in there, but yeah, I was almost in a different jersey for sure. But yeah, it's funny how it all works out, isn't it?
It does.
And you seem quite stoked with
the fact.
Yeah, well, mate, it's like it's the club I grew up supporting. Yeah. Like I love the boys, I love the coaching staff and the area as well. Like all my mates are Eastern Suburbs boys that support the Chooks. So
yeah, shout out Clary.
Yeah, well, shout out to Pato and Tim Wilson as well.
Shout out to Pato. I think I know Pato, as in he's a dribbler. Is Pato a dribbler?
Yeah, complete dribbler.
Yeah, I've seen Pato. Pato in the DMs before.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, I'm interested in a couple of things, and you don't need to answer any of these.
Yeah.
When Terrell May got moved on, you more active on Twitter than most rugby league players.
Yeah, I love
you're a
Twitter.
Guy,
there's some funny people on Twitter, man.
Well, that you again, this is just coming back to me, but you got Vossi a good one on Twitter. That's all I'll say.
The Vossi ball. I love Vossi though, but it's funny.
Yeah, I know, but you got
it's
him.
all love. Yeah.
But you came out. You came out and defended Terrell, where you were like, he's a good man, and like people, something to the effect of like, people didn't know why.
Yeah, I said something stupid. Like I said...
If you knew why he was going...
No, like I said... Because I got an interview. I had like a promo for the Kangaroos and they asked me about it on camera. And I was just dribbling and I think I said, don't judge a book before it's written. Which is obviously my own take of don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
But I went one deeper.
That's fucking deep.
Yeah.
Like, don't judge a book that hasn't even been written.
Is he a misunderstood character in that sense?
Yeah, well, I think like that's why when like there was crazy rumors again flying from him saying, oh, he slept with someone's partner. And that. It's like, mate, he's got his own partner. He's got kids. He's doesn't drink, doesn't smoke. Like everyone's like, oh, he's a junkie. Like, oh, is this, is that?
Just
it's like
completely unfounded bullshit.
Yeah, and I think maybe I get a little bit triggered now when I see that shit just because I've gone through that myself. Yeah, I wanted to speak up for him because he's a good dude and he works hard and yeah.
Nice. What's Nick Politis like? Has he got much to do with all the players?
Yeah, well, you see him around at like club events, like our season launch. He was there talking, and sometimes he'll come in, watch our captains run, and watch training and that. But I feel like he's just a big Roosters fan. Like he'll come out when it's raining and like sit there with his umbrella and just like watch us run around.
Really?
Like proper loves it. He's got a Roosters tattoo. Like yeah, he's just I feel like he's just a really rich fan. But I feel like he just loves the club, and
I love that he comes out with his brolly. And
he does.
It's also just a great way to describe that. He's just a really rich fan.
Yeah,
who loves the club.
Yeah, who just loves the club and lives and breathes Roosters. So it's cool to be at a club where your owner is so involved and has such a deep passion for the club. And he's been around when the Roosters were like bottom of the pile as well, and he's seen them get to their peak. So no, it's cool to have someone as powerful and as him.
It's nice to have a Supremo around.
Yeah, not every club has a Supremo.
Who's Manly's Supremo?
We
don't have one.
We probably don't have a Supremo. I would have said maybe Bob Fulton. May he rest in eternal heavenly peace.
Well, Bozo no longer
no longer with us. He was a Supremo, but he was an immortal. But I mean,
He was still a Supremo.
Gus is a Supremo.
Yeah, Gus has been so good for dogs, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. And another guy that likes his Twitter.
Oh, I love Gus.
He's a
Twitter,
great
man.
follow on Twitter.
Yeah,
dude.
he's
the
hilarious. What, have you seen the one where he listed every single person that works in the Bulldogs? Yeah. They were like, hey, mate, do you know about this person that works? And he's like, 1 second. And like posted this tweet that's like, has every single person's name, like all the way down to like New South Wales Cup assistant physio.
He's a dribbler. And he just even today, like,
What?
he's just constantly like airing his thoughts. You know, what was the one that we put up the other day where it was just like, funny game, rugby league. You never know what you're going to get. It's like, dot, dot, dot,
He
dot,
says it every week.
I know, and then he's like, anyway, off for a swim. What the fuck are we talking about? What's going on? Anyway, mate, thanks for coming on. It's good to see you.
All good.
Great to
see you
see
doing
you,
well.
Hey, hopefully this doesn't land me in any hot water. Appreciate
Mate,
it.
you'll get, don't worry, we'll make sure that anything hairy is run over your desk before we release it.
Correct.
But also, you never know with these journos. So
Well, that's
see.
it, right? You could.
It's pretty much, it's up to you guys. So please don't take anything out of context.
Listen, we'll send you all the transcripts. You can post it up in your articles nice and easy.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks, mate.
We just make it easy for him. Cheers, bro.
Oh, no, let's get you calling out. Who do we want him to call out?
KP.
KP. So listen, you're just saying, "G'day, Callan. It's your old mate Angus Crichton
Yeah,
here."
sweet. Hey, Kaylin, it's me, Angus. I don't know if you remember me. Played together in Aussie under-23s. Good win over France. Famous win. Played curtain raiser for the women's. Good night that night, me and you as well. So come see the boys, hang out and chat.
That was very nice of you to say that, Angus. You didn't need to do that.
You didn't need to do that.
You didn't need to do that.
You
That was
didn't need to
nice.
do that. Well done, mate.
Reach
Thank
out,
you, bro.
Kaylin. Throbber.
Could you two just not talk anymore?